Well, I know it's not NASCAR news exactly. I don't think we've even maybe talked about it once or twice on this channel. But the SRX Series, the Superstar Racing Experience, their 2024 season will be postponed. Now, the reason this is significant, I guess, in the racing world is because we see a lot of active NASCAR drivers and retired NASCAR drivers race in this series. In fact, former driver Tony Stewart and former crew chief Ray Evernham founded the series back in 2020, 2021. As a helicopter or something goes by. Anyways, we've seen active drivers like Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, just to name a few guys that have been in this series, racing this series. It's primarily run during the summertime. It's run on short tracks, dirt tracks. Ray Evernham designed the cars himself. And it's a summer series, essentially. It's no big national series like NASCAR or IndyCar, but it is something that fans have seemed to enjoy. As I said, a lot of big-name drivers in this thing, like, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart. We've even seen non-NASCAR drivers racing in this thing. We've seen some IndyCar drivers. I think Helio Castroneves was in it. Willie T. Ribbs was in it. Tony Kanaan, just to name a few guys. So we saw a lot of drivers in this series, big name drivers, So that's why it was such a big deal. I was not an avid watcher of it as I am with NASCAR. But if it was on TV, nothing else was on, I would watch it. It was entertaining. It was fun. But here's the official statement. It is with deep disappointment that we announce the postponement of SRX's 4th season. We entered the next phase of our racing series with great anticipation and excitement for what was ahead. Our expectations, however, have been tempered by market factors that have proven too much to overcome. Time has run out to put the kind of event our fans, partners, drivers, and tracks deserve. We're thankful to each for their commitment, their contributions, and their support as we brought a new idea to reality. The racing industry continues to evolve, and we are actively exploring strategic options for the series' long-term potential. We made this announcement now to allow our partners the time and flexibility to best serve their interests. We will provide updates on future plans for SRX when they are available. Obviously, very disappointing to hear on every end. I'm sure, obviously, from SRX's perspective, they had sponsorship money coming in. They had TV deals lined up. I think they were ESPN Thursday Night Thunder. They brought that back. They were on CBS for a bit. Camping World had been sponsoring the series. Just from every perspective, it's just been really disappointing. As I said, with the fans who really enjoyed it, the series itself, the sponsors, but then also the tracks. These are some really big name short tracks, and they're getting more exposure as well. Not that they weren't getting any before, but, extra exposure, to see these big name drivers coming to their track, to get ESPN, CBS at their racetrack. It's a big deal. So it's going to be very disappointing for them as well. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future of SRX. I have no idea if they're going to come back in 2025 or whatever it is, but just from the statement alone, obviously they're going to have to postpone the season. That is the official statement. That sentence in the middle there where they said, thankful for the contribution, support as we brought a new idea to reality. I don't know, but I read that as like, they brought something to reality and now it's not going to exist anymore. But maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. But as I said, Tony Stewart, the big name involved behind this, who kind of helped co-found it. He won the first season's championship. He won some races in this thing. He was one of the big guys behind it. And then when Ray Evernham left, of course, as I said, he designed the cars. And Evernham now is at IROC. He revived, whatever you want to say, IROC, which was a big series back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. They're reviving that, which is kind of a similar thing, but they do some more tracks, more variety of tracks. So I'm curious I know it's been a couple years since Evernham departed SRX, but I'm curious if Evernham buying IROC or, reviving IROC, whatever it is, I'm curious if that had anything to do with it. Well, okay, maybe not, because Bob Pockris just said, would be surprised if the IROC news had a big impact on the SRX decision to shut down for 2024. So there you go. But yeah, SRX, as I said, I didn't watch every single race, no, but I know a lot of people enjoyed the series. There were some big NASCAR names involved in it, not just the ownership, but in the driving things. I know the active drivers were only part-time in it, like Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski. We even saw Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle in it. Ken Schrader was in it. But, you know, it was still a fun series. No idea if it's coming back or not, but disappointing for sure to hear that they have postponed the season, as what they're saying right now. But thanks for watching this video. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about NASCAR spotters. Where have they moved? Who's gone from which car to which other car? So that will be tomorrow. We're going to talk about every spotter change. That'll be a fun one. So thanks for watching this. I'll update you on anything else in the community post. Have a good rest of your day.